Sleep joining me as well as the action's already starting, but still gotta give him the introduction. It's the man, the myth, the legend. I've never heard someone cuss more on broadcast. It's Gary Tools. How we feeling?
Whoa. I feel like I'm gonna break something in my contract. You keep exposing the secrets over there, but no, I'm having a good time. Honestly, I don't know how you guys get up so early to play matchmaking. It's a little bit later for you, but you're West Coast, man. Yeah, you gotta get some beauty sleep once in a while. You know, come take the afternoon shift with me every once in a while. But here we go. OpTic Sentinels and OpTic Gaming, they've won 3 in a row against that pure roster, just a round to go, and they don't seem to be slowing down whatsoever. A hot start from Trippy and Lucid as they are comboing off on Sentinels.
And make no mistake about it. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tony. I'm not going to cut you off. Get it.
I was just saying, it really felt like the way they won that. It was a 5-0 in that final game. That's a dominant performance out of OpTic Gaming, and now continuing right where they left off, like you said, Garrett. OpTic Gaming, they want to break the curse. I've been saying it.
We see it. Hey, OpTic fast to get that flag out, but Sentinels quick with their response, able to find those kills and get the return. But the problem for them, it's all reactionary. OpTic's controlling every aspect of the game. The triple from Formal that might just turn into the over. Trippy stealing it before our eyes, but nothing is stopping the train that is OpTic Gaming.
Trippy staying alive here, and Lucid doing the same. Both players going down to one shot, but just see Formal full shields and in the action, quick to pull that flag because he knows his teammates have his back. Lethal won't go down, but he is out of the play, and Trippy's right there for the cleanup.
Flag still out. You see Lucid coming up through that top. He's going to give support alongside Dead Zone to allow Trippy to get further up the map, and this is perfect play. Formal getting that flag further and further down until he went down, but with OpTic Gaming having this overshield, you imagine this one's going to come back. It's going to be up to Dead Zone to win the 1v2 in this situation. Can he get to the flag in time? No! Return. Once again, Sentinels hanging on by a thread to keep this 0-0. Can they finally get some counter offensives in?
Great offense coming out of OpTic Gaming, but even better defense out of Sentinels, and even better shots out of Boo Boo Doo finally taken down by Dead Zone, and we see OpTic Gaming clearing out their base and now moving toward the 50% portion of the map.
This feels like classic Sentinels gameplay. They somehow always find a way to make the game difficult. Even when OpTic Gaming has firm control, they've owned the base of Sentinels this entire game. You look at the scoreboard, it remains the same, 0-0. That's their focus. Wait for their opportunities, and when they have the chance to execute, it's imperative that they have high success rate. Bend, don't break defense has been the strategy early on. How long can they hold off the green wall?
Trippy does a really good job of staying alive, getting the kill, and then eventually translating that into a sniper, and right now just using the opponent's sniper as bait while Formal tries to push up, but both Formal and Dead Zone hit the black screen, so Trippy right back to being locked in, and Falcon are going to start things off by jiggle peeking a bit and eventually getting away with that S7.
A sidestep was enough to at least force Trippy to waste some of that ammo. The problem is, though, Lucid's gotten control of the sniper, and he is in the base of Sentinels. Sentinels have not been able to put any sort of offensive action on board because of how strong OpTic Gaming are on these pushes. They constantly get the sniper rifles. They're constantly getting the overshields. They have control of everything, and it's causing Sentinels to have to stand in the back of their base, form defensive lines. There has been no action from them. OpTic Gaming continuing to send their forces.
OpTic didn't have the numbers, but they did have the overshield. Eventually don't have that, and Sentinel defense once again being able to clear OpTic out of their base so many times here, and a one-shot Lucid forced to retreat and play his life. But that Sentinel's going 3 down. This is the opportunity that OpTic have been waiting for, the opportunity that they've created.
Notice the comms from OpTic Gaming. Both those players turned around immediately to find Fallocated. He was the only player that was on the flank. His position was well known and communicated, and that leads to this first grab and successful flag capture. The only way this thing's not going home, Tony, is if this somehow finds its way off the map. You'd have to make a huge blunder. Sentinels just spawned as that flag goes in. OpTic Gaming, they might not just be satisfied with one. A second could be quickly coming.
Hey, don't be putting that type of stuff into the atmosphere. You never know, okay? Don't be putting that out there. But after going 3 down, Trippy by himself. Excellent shots by him trying to navigate that 1v2. But although both players leave one shot, they do end up surviving. And now Sentinels looking to pull off a counter cap opportunity. You already have the snipe side control. Lucid wasn't able to stay alive here, but Formal takes height. And what goes up must come down.
That's a perfect way to describe this game thus far, as those two players surviving. Sentinels, it feels as if they're treading water, but the shoreline might have just come into reach. Boo Boo Doo is flanking. It's at the right time. He's behind multiple players, but notice what's coming up. Overshield and snipers. He's going to have the first chance at this. Formal catches him out, and Boo Boo Doo will have no ability to create chaos for OpTic. Formal cleans it up right away, and it looks more of the same for the green wall.
Formal with this sniper, not wasting any time whatsoever, moving it towards that 50% portion of the map, and you're seeing Sentinels kind of jumbled up over towards that back base. That's because OpTic have them surrounded, and the collapse is coming so quick. Although you're able to take down one sniper, it's Lucid coming with another body shot onto Boo Boo Doo. Sentinels trapped in their base, already down 0-1 in this game. This could be 0-2 real soon here.
A forced concession from Sentinels. They know that they cannot even try to contest. Priority is to find Lucid, but he's found himself in an empty zone. No presence makes the play. I don't know how Precision's alive. I thought that was good from you, Lucid. Precision stays alive. Trippy's last in the base. He has to take care of 2. This flag's certainly not going to go much further as Sentinels tries to regain their base.
It was a momentary 1v1, but there is one player that was stuck in enemy territory. Now, both teams gonna reset a bit. Lethal off screen was able to take down Trippy, and Boo Boo Doo throwing every nade, everything at the kitchen sink and everything, but Denso has somehow survived and curve slides his way into the elbow of Boo Boo the Doo. That's half the members of OpTic on the black screen, the other half looking to stay alive.
Boo Boo Doo patrolling through the top for the first time. OpTic Gaming are the team that is on the defense, trying to get out of their base, and they just don't look familiar with what the protocol is when you get to this spot. Lucid tried to get himself into a cheeky angle, but that's not going to be enough to stop Sentinels for now. For the first time, Sentinels are the one controlling the game.
Precision spots out Dead Zone, spots out Lucid, but doesn't realize there's a player literally right behind them, and Precision, the most forward player for Sentinels, ends up going down. Boo Boo Doo wants to continue that pressure, but they just don't have the damage, don't have the numbers, and Boo Boo Doo doesn't even have his life anymore. Somehow, a 2v2 situation, and Lethal and Sentinel still grinding forward right now. This time it's going to be a 1v1 versus a very sneaky Formal, and Formal finds the easy kill.
Incredible patience from Formal there. It's so easy to try to take that challenge right away. Instead, he remains patient, waits for that player to commit to one side, and once they do, he knows how to clean it up. OpTic Gaming, they've been on their back foot playing defense, but they started to stabilize here and there. If they're able to find a couple more kills and get more space on the map, that's when they'll feel a little bit more successful in their defensive efforts.
A very scrappy and early pull now coming from Precision there. Didn't exactly have the slays they wanted, but tried to use that flag as bait. Tried to get it while pulling, but not gonna work. 4 go down for Sentinels, and Dead Zone finding the sniper of them, so things about to get in trouble. And
yeah,
okay.
Hey, someone's in the lab, Tony. Write it down, get the angle. Let's pull out the ruler. I think that was 2 centimeters high. Throw the nade. It gets the sniper into their hands. But the most important part, it throws that sniper onto the bridge where it's a bit safer as he exits, right? So not only does he get the sniper, but he's able to pull it back towards his side.
15 kills and 12 assists out of Dead Zone, who has 1 sniper, and Lucid 19 and 9 with 10 assists with the other. It's another double sniper opportunity here for OpTic Gaming, and when Sentinels aren't slaying well enough to even grab their own sniper, there's no chance they'll be able to slay well enough to grab an overshield, and they gotta be careful because 1 cap is all that OpTic need in order to take this game and momentum in the series. A 2v2 situation turns now into a quick 3 down, and another overshield goes in the hands of OpTic Gaming. Sentinels, you gotta make something happen, and it has to happen now.
Lucid thrives when the game simplifies, so there's no other option for Sentinels. They have to fly forward, and Lucid knows exactly where to place his reticle to find snipe shot after snipe shot. Desperation leads to killing sprees as OpTic Gaming puts their last flag on board. Nothing they can do. A dominant game start to finish from OpTic Gaming.
OpTic Gaming picking up right where they left off from the last series, and you know, maybe I'm a little premature on this, maybe I'm jumping the gun a bit, but they might be the best CTF team in the game right now from what I've seen this weekend. I mean, they have absolutely dominated their capture the flags. Another shutout game by them in CTF. It was 5-0 in Aquarius, 3-0 here in Forbidden. They've capped 8 flags in a row without being capped on. They've forgotten what it feels like to be capped on, right? But when we were looking at the stats, the slays were just so lopsided in the favor of OpTic, right? They kept getting control of both snipers, and when they did, I mean, I gotta shut myself up really quick though, because Lucid 7,200 damage. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
As we take a look at the highlights, it was like a highlight reel montage game with how many snipes we were seeing members of OpTic hit, and we talked about it yesterday on Forbidden. It is so oppressive if you allow the other team the opportunity to acquire both sniper rifles, you know, and they could just sit back and pick you off spawn, and it's hard to close that gap. Formal with the perfect shots there for the triple. Trippy taking that over. I mean, we gotta have a conversation after the series over in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, that was an overkill. You gotta let me have that one. But Tony, it's game 1 of this series, and you know, you would never guess that both these teams are in losers with how hot they've both been on the day. What has been a key to OpTic's success thus far, and the fact that they've been able to build so much momentum today?
Well, what makes OpTic, you know, damn near a perfect team at times, at least they look that way, is because they can beat you 2 different ways. You think of the OpTic gaming that you see on a map like Streets, for example, where they can up the tempo really fast, but also slow it down on a dime and really bait you into situations where you're in a false, you know, you think you're in a false advantageous situation. You think you have the advantage, but they trap you, they bait you out. But then you saw a map like Forbidden where the multitasking comes in, the coordination, the pushing up at the same time and accomplishing both, taking over the enemy team's main and snipe at the same time. They can beat you in a number of different ways, and it all comes starting from that firepower and teamwork that OpTic have.
Well, it took game 1 pretty handily, and so far up 3-0 here in game number 2. Let's lock back into the action. Gary Tools, take us away.
Sentinels, they played bend don't break last game. The problem was the OpTic Gaming, the green wall. They just played perfect. Sentinels, they'll have to try to find a new strategy, force some fractures in the foundation of OpTic Gaming, and the question is, how do they do that? Who's going to step up to the plate to be that player? And another patient play from Dead Zone. He waited for everyone to come towards him. Sentinels, though, multiple numbers get the job done.
One player that's going to step up consistently is going to be Precision. Takes down one, stays alive, and has his teammate there for the bait and switch. But Lucid and Trippy, bro, having one as well, that's a huge 1-2 combo out of them. The green side is cleared, and Lucid even trading out his life with Valkated there. A 3-kill advantage for OpTic Gaming in the early game as Sentinels go 3 down once again.
The problem is for Sentinels, you cannot fall into the same situation that you had in the last game, where OpTic Gaming is 3-4 up, dictating spawns, finding the traps, keeping you on your back foot, forcing you to play reactionary Halo. Sentinels need to be the one finding the space on the map, pushing OpTic Gaming back, being on the offense a little bit more than they were on the defense in the previous game. OpTic just slowly building up this lead for now. The big part of this equation is finding trades. There just hasn't been much for Sentinels to trade out at the moment.
Well, Sentinels have been able to bring it back within 4 kills, and Lethal and Precision watching each other's back at the moment here, while off-screen Boo Boo Doo is able to deal with Lucid. That's a hole that Sentinels want to play through the OpTic defense. Trippy down to one shot, he's taking care of. Formal can join them as well, and just like that, Sentinels will bring them within 1 kill.
Precision, fantastic work to play in the 1v2. There was no help for him, but he was able to stay alive and get both those kills. This allows Sentinels to be in a better position to play for the camouflage. OpTic 3 down, Lucid forcing himself into a situation to at least try to get the trade, but there is none to be there. Sentinels, for the first time, have the lead, but also have control of everything else. Camouflage in their possession, the spawns well known. This is the chance they've been waiting for.
And this is what we talk about with Live Fire being a momentum-driven game. This was a 15-10 advantage for OpTic Gaming, but Sentinels went back-to-back round of slays going in their favor. Lethal able to get away with this camouflage. More importantly, able to get away with his life. By the time Trippy's there, he's going to go down as well. When the dust settles, it's a 22-21 advantage. Still for OpTic Gaming. Hold on. Who let Dead Zone get the sniper?
He's gonna peel heads if he's given the opportunity. OpTic Gaming, we haven't seen it much when they're pushed back against that wall, but we certainly got an answer of how they'll respond. They just broke through it. They turned around and ran through Sentinels. There was nothing to stop them. It was a hot knife through butter. They'd retake their lead. Just think, a round of slays ago, it was Sentinels that had full control. Now it's Dead Zone that's popping heads left and right.
Apparently, he don't gotta be sick to be sick with it. Dead Zone is here, and this is why they brought him onto the squad, to make game-changing plays, whether it's the objective work or the snipes on a Slayer. Dead Zone, 8 kills, 5 assists, and it's OpTic Gaming with a 6-kill advantage.
The skulls of his enemies populated his sniper, as there's nothing that is stopping Dead Zone from dissecting Sentinels. And the problem for Sentinels is there just hasn't been enough pressure to force OpTic Gaming into the wrong play. And even when they get it, well, OpTic Gaming execution has been top tier thus far. Game slowing down quite a bit. Notice how Sentinels are trying to lure OpTic Gaming into making the play. That's where they'll try to find their advantage.
Sentinels better be careful. Down by 7 kills, and anybody who steps within the zone of Zane's reticle ends up dead. Precision down to 1 shot. Dude, that's unfair. Dude, that is not fair. The jiggle peak just too strong.
There's one player to ever do it, you know, is this man on screen. The way he's able to get his Spartan to move is the fastest in the game. And well, Dead Zone, you saw it once, you'll get him right off the respawn screen. It's a double for Precision, an opportunity once again for Sentinels. They need to change history. Last time, similar situation. They were able to get the camouflage and OpTic Gaming on their back foot. It ended up being an OpTic Gaming lead. This time, Sentinels trying to reclaim that lead at a pivotal moment in the game.
32-29 lead in favor of OpTic Gaming, and Precision gets out in nick of time, gets his shields back, and right back in the action. No shields, no problem, as Precision aggressive through the green side, but his teammates end up going down. Didn't have the help he wanted. 36 kills for OpTic Gaming.
OpTic Gaming did a great job of staying on the perimeter. They kept their back into the wall or the out space where players couldn't get behind them. The goal, make camouflage expose themselves in the middle of the map. Precision was only able to get 1 before he was eventually spotted and dealt with. And OpTic Gaming, well, they were down. They were only up 3 when that camouflage was grabbed. They somehow find themselves at a steeper lead now after they lost control of the map and the power weapon. Incredible efforts from them to play well when the map isn't in their favor.
Huge plays coming out of Falcated, but even bigger ones going right back at him from Trippy with the no-scope. Precision seemingly coming out of nowhere, though, gets the sniper for himself and almost drills 2 OpTic members, but something really needs to change here for Sentinels. They need to start valuing their life. They are running out of time here on Live Fire.
Things might have just changed at the right time. Falcated was able to find 1 with that sniper, but just was no more ammo to use. The alley-oops from OpTic Gaming by throwing hot potato snipers eventually got rid of that ammo, and it might have just gotten rid of the one piece of the equation that was needed for Sentinels to get back into this game, just a wipe away for OpTic.
There's one squad wipe away from taking their OpTic Gaming, but meanwhile, Sentinels slowly starting to claw their way back in it. As I say that, Trippy goes right after Boo Boo Doo. Lethal on the low ground will win that 1v1 fight, and Falcon it does as well, but Lucid puts the 48th on the board here. There's just no time for mistakes, and 48 kills here for OpTic Gaming, and Boo Boo Doo clears out the bottom mid side. Oh.
Step at a time. Sentinels continue to find kills that are untraded. Trippy, I didn't even see the nade come out of his hands, but it's a pivotal one. It puts them on game point. Sentinels have to play perfect, and OpTic Gaming, all they need to do is force a singular trade. Trippy's up in the front lines, and it's going to be Lucid that knows, hey, I can just play a corner with this dude combo. Get too close, you're dead.
Lethal wins that fight. Dead Zone finds the one-shot player, and although it felt like Sentinels played better towards that end game, it was OpTic that had that cushion of a 6-kill advantage in the clutch time and really only had to play for the trades there. OpTic hold on to that one.
Can I just say, chef's kiss on that last play. Hunter, you saw it too, right? The
Absolutely.
way that Dead Zone just popped himself to the right with that reticle.
Yeah, just the details, man, incredible. The turning point for me in that game was around that midway point when Lethal got that camo. I don't know if you guys remember this. Lethal gets camo. Sentinels is up by 2 at that point. He ends up running out of camo or getting traded out, and they're losing by 2 or 3. Like, OpTic was able to find all the kills on the map that were not the camo player and somehow take a disadvantageous situation and, you know, make the most out of it. That was really the tail of the tape for me, and OpTic kind of never really looked back. They were, you know, holding control, holding the lead the rest of the game. Some great plays out of them. On the other side, on the Sentinel side, you know, Eli mentioned it earlier. I'm feeling a little bit like, you know, maybe they needed to take a little extended one of those bathroom breaks, right? Because here was the play actually that we were talking about. Lethal gets camo, and they end up down when he's done with camo. When he grabbed that camo, they were up 21 to 19 or 18, and by the time it ran out, and I mean, Dead Zone, we can't say enough about the shots he was hitting with Snipe. We saw the insane 180 no-scope he hit bottom mid as well. But yeah, just a great, like, OpTic able to find an advantage in a situation where you feel like they have none has really been a calling card for them. And for Sentinels, like I was saying earlier, you know, Tony, I'm thinking any one of those extended bathroom breaks, right? Like, you got to hit the full reset. I'm seeing Falcated struggle in ways that, you know, is uncharacteristic of him as well. They just don't seem to have the same swag that they had in the last series they played.
Yeah, I feel like if you're hot, if you're the team fresh off of a win, you want the next game to start right away. Obviously, momentum is a real thing, and it is on your side. Where if you're coming off of a loss, it's very, yes, you want to get back in and change the result right away, but you do need a breather. You do need to take a step back and just take a deep breath and really reset, regain. And Sentinels not doing that may just cost them. I guess everybody's different when it comes to personalities and whatnot, but I think it's really important to get that reset and regain.
I mean, it reminds me of our matchmaking sessions, Tony, right? We take one of those hot L's and it's like, hey, yo, like, I'm gonna get some water. Like, don't search. Give me a second. Let's hit the reset. Let's make sure we get it done next time. Absolutely crucial, but for these guys, they just want to keep the action going. Tools, we're now on Interference Strongholds, and OpTic already off to a triple kill to start this game. I mean, triple cap to start the game.
They might need to be hitting that reset button already. You know what I'm saying? Sentinels, you might be like, hey, I don't think this game started. Let's try to get this thing back on track.
My controller ain't working right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Hey. we might need to call a ref over, but 40 points for OpTic Gaming right away, and Sentinels, they'll have to try to find their answer. OpTic Gaming, it felt like the last game was a lot of setting the traps, harrying the back row, and whenever Sentinels was ready to force an attack, it was a mirror that stood in their way. They were able to constantly bounce back anything that Sentinels put towards them. Seems like this might be more of the same. Even when Sentinels is applying pressure, it's OpTic Gaming that seem to be the ones that are truly attacking.
49-12 lead, and Dead Zone jumping off the map to make sure he guarantees that kill, but it still ends up leading to a 3 down for Sentinels. So even though Dead Zone's off the map, it's OpTic Gaming that have the advantage. Luckily, Sentinels able to take away Charlie, getting some favorable spawns as well. Are they able to grab a hold of Bravo and Overshield is the real question.
Double kill from Boo Boo, and this is at the perfect time with Overshield coming up. Sentinels desperately needs this tool, but Trippy at the right place, right time, not even going for that Overshield, understanding it's more about getting the space, letting his teammates get up to help him, and then grab that Overshield. Hey, let me get the thrust in the back pocket as well. This is everything you could possibly want on the map.
Overshield getting max value out of Trippy there, able to take down 2 out of 4 members from Sentinels, and a little bit of skill jump action for you, but it's lethal and Sentinels coming out of the car side. Falcon literally spawning Carbine right as Trippy is taking away Charlie, and there's still nothing Sentinels can do about it. They're taking it slow and steady, but right now it seems like OpTic are the ones who are winning the race.
Nade, is it good enough? Not quite. B will transfer hands. Sentinels for the time being put OpTic Gaming to the respawn screen and score at the same time. A deadly combination that Sentinels needs to parlay into a trip cap opportunity, but OpTic Gaming remaining strong on that Whitehall side, even though a precision leaks towards that tower. As long as OpTic Gaming has their pivot flip towards that towards Whitehall, they'll have their option at attacks. It's just a matter of time when they can push forward.
Boo forward over toward the yellow corner side. Looks like he's gonna fall off the map as well. So a bit of trades happen down there as Dead Zone takes down Lethal, and Falcon opens things up with the double kill, leading OpTic to 3 down, and quickly they attack Alpha when already having Charlie.
It's a dangerous maneuver that Sentinels made. They got through the backside, but it flips the spawns. OpTic Gaming, they only have 1 hill, but they're spawning towards C. It's gonna force Sentinels to have to play defense quickly towards this C side. It's gonna be Fallicated that takes that responsibility. Notice the kill feed. It's important for him to stay alive at the moment. Dead Zone last alive. The spawns are known. Sentinels was able to overcome, and it might just become more. This is the trip cap opportunity they've been waiting for.
They get the slays in a timely manner. Precision applies pressure toward the spawning players, means that Falcon is able to get a hold of that Overshield in a momentary trip cap out of Sentinel. Still not able to do much with it because they end up going down. Now Alpha is about to change hands. Excuse me, Bravo's about to change hands here. OpTic already have Charlie, and Sentinels have lost the double cap that quickly.
It's a similar situation that Hunter brought up in the post game. Everything's going into Sentinels' hands. They get the Overshield, but OpTic Gaming's the team that comes out on top. Sentinels needs to be a bit more cautious about the spawns that they're blocking. It's important to maintain your primary, have an anchor in the back. Because there was no one blocking out those back spawns, OpTic Gaming, although they're going to the respawn screen and A was being pressured, the C spawns flip out in their favor. So it doesn't matter if you have the extra shields. It doesn't matter if you're getting those kills if you don't have the space to facilitate a scoring opportunity. OpTic Gaming make the most of it and really brush off a strong attack effort from Sentinels.
Double cap still being held here by OpTic, and when it was Precision that takes down Formal, and Trippy wins a pivotal fight against Boo Boo Doo. Precision quick on the cleanup, but OpTic retreating toward the yellow corner, still holding on this time to Alpha and Charlie. OpTic Gaming.
No one does this better than Precision. The Jiggle Peak puts Lucid down to 1 shot, and it's forcing OpTic Gaming to deal with the pressure that he's applying. Able to find a few more kills before he goes down, but the problem really arises at C. Trippy had no problem taking care of the anchor player. That will continue the scoring opportunities for OpTic, and although Sentinels was applying pressure, getting kills, it's OpTic Gaming that has the last laugh. Clean Halo for them thus far has made the game simple.
Already up 2-0 here in the series. OpTic about to pass that 200-point mark. They're the ones emptying the tank in order to pull off this sweep. Meanwhile, Sentinels have to dig deep here. Alpha already belongs to them. Sentinels come right off a spawn to attack Charlie's side, but look how OpTic immediately rotate. This time they're gonna hold Alpha and Bravo.
Where does Sentinels attack from? That's the question that's going through OpTic, and it's up to the perimeter players to give that information away. Lucid, he notices the push is coming from tower. He got 2 of his own. Dead Zone teams up for the 3rd. Lethal last alive, and their game slipping away from them. Only 30 more seconds of control, and OpTic Gaming will win this game. It's desperation mode for Sentinels.
Nathan was able to break out of his spawn, but runs right into two members of OpTic Gaming. They're just baiting that drill black corner. One-shot Boo Boo Doo won't survive toward the sewers, and with that, Sentinels don't have the numbers. Falcon having to desperate over towards Bravo, which is right where Lucid and OpTic won. 242 points at the moment here, but Bravo is stopped short. Boo Boo Doo and Precision will rotate toward the alpha side, but Lucid is frying everything inside. That's a double kill, making a triple, and Falcon cannot make it towards the nest side. It's Sentinels going home, and OpTic advancing to the top 3.
Once again, it's that pivot foot at White Hall, Tony. You saw Lucid, right? He's at that white corner. What that pivot foot allows him to do is have options for all 3 hills. It didn't matter that Falcon was delaying at B and keeping people preoccupied, because as soon as he got that kill, he just turns to the left, looks at tower, sees the rest of the players and his teammates ready for the attack, showing that position more important than anything else on the map. And fantastic work from OpTic throughout all stages of this series. The dominant green wall that we've been expecting to see in this tournament has finally emerged, and well, grand finals looking more and more likely. Just one more enemy that stands in their way.
I feel like we didn't even just play a series, guys. OpTic pretending like they're at Disneyland with the fast pass, just cruising, just trying to rush their way to the finals. Absolutely no respect for their opponent whatsoever, putting on a clinic in all 3 games. Really, there was no question as to whether who the better team was in this series. OpTic feeling much more prepared, and yeah, they're looking like it's Championship Sunday right now as they move on to our losers bracket finals. What a performance out of them! So many situations where we brought it up again. It's like Sentinels, okay, you've got the overshield. Now you have an opportunity to get a foothold in this game, but OpTic, they just made all the right reads, made the right rotations, and I mean, look at the shots from Trippy here. The amount of 4 shots I've seen him land in his career, absolutely disgusting. Tony, I mean, if you're Sentinels, what do you take away from this series?
Well, first of all, what exactly is a fast pass? I thought a fast pass, and that's what I call whenever you invite me to play matchmaking with you. I'm like, bro, that's a fast pass. I'm good with that. You're gonna have to explain that one to me later. But no, I mean, to me, it was just about OpTic's just coordination and the speed that they came at Sentinels with. Like, when it comes to that coordinated play, you're gonna have that firepower, you're gonna be winning the Slays battle. But for me, it was about how objective efficient they were through the speed, because the moment they turned 1 kill into 2, they were immediately on an objective. There was no time that was wasted.